It's easy to think that desserts from high-end restaurants are complicated, take hours to make, and need loads of ingredients to pull off. But that's not always the case. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make one of my favourite chocolate and strawberry desserts. It's so easy, anyone can make it. It takes no more than 15 minutes to come together, and it uses only 5 ingredients. First, I'll grab a mixing bowl and break the chocolate into small chunks. Next, I'm pouring over 100 ml of boiling water. Some of you will be thinking I'm crazy for mixing water with chocolate, and you're totally right to think this. For those of you who have never mixed water with melted chocolate before, you end up with a grainy texture, something like this, and unfortunately there's no saving it. What's different about the method I'm showing you today is I'm mixing room temperature solidified chocolate with boiling water. The important thing here is the water must be boiling, and I have to use enough to be able to fully melt the chocolate. So it's as simple as mixing the chocolate and water with a whisk until the chocolate is melted and you have basically a chocolate sauce. Next, I'll grab a large bowl, add a few handfuls of ice and a little cold water. Then I'll place the bowl with the chocolate on top of that to cool it down. For the first minute or two, it will look like not much is happening, and I'm making sure to whisk every 30 seconds or so and only very gently. The chocolate can go grainy if I whisk too hard. After around 3 minutes, it's starting to thicken. From here, I'm going to mix with the whisk constantly, but still very gently. And after around 4 minutes, I'm at this Nutella looking stage. Then for the final 30 seconds, the chocolate fully sets. The whole time I was just gently whisking, nothing aggressive. Take the bowl out of the ice and close up, it looks something like this. Smooth, light and very chocolatey. Later, I'll show you how to get this classic restaurant shine on the outside when we come to serve it. If yours doesn't set fully like this, then don't panic. Just break another square or two of chocolate in and heat the mixture up again in the microwave. Do it in 2 or 3 20-second stages because chocolate and high heat don't go well together and you don't want your chocolate to seize. Then just repeat the chilling process again. All chocolate is different and will set differently. So I've based this recipe on this brand because it's probably the most widely available high quality chocolate. I'm placing the bowl in my fridge until I need it. Next up, the strawberries. One of the biggest questions I hear about them is why are my strawberries always tasteless or sour? So I'll show you a few tricks that chefs use to get around this and maximise the flavour of their berries. It all starts by sorting the strawberries into different categories, because with any summer berries that you buy, some will be underripe, some will be overripe, some will be damaged, and hopefully you'll have some that are picture perfect. Now I've got one pile of perfectly ripe, good looking berries with no bruises or holes. Another pile of damaged berries, these are mostly ripe but have bruises and holes in them. And lastly a pile of underripe berries. These feel firmer than the riper ones and haven't got the same even depth in colour and won't have a great flavour. The ripe ones from this pile will have the best flavour, so I'll eat these fresh as they are. The damaged ones from this pile will be used for sauces, jams, and another method that I'll show you in a minute. And the underripe pile unfortunately won't ripen anymore, so I'll use these for cooking only. First, I'm going to take a few of the damaged berries, take the tops off, and just slice out any parts that look rotten or bruised, and cut them into quarters, sixths, and some into random shapes. The top part of the strawberry is the most tasteless and the most underripe, so I'll just slice around the stem until I just have this inedible part remaining. Then I'll slice across those thin slices to get a fine dice. Next, I'll add everything to a bowl with around a teaspoon of sugar. This can be any sugar, demerara, caster, icing, whatever you have. This is known as macerating. And what's great about doing this is you can turn underripe, tasteless berries into something with more depth in flavour, a better texture, and of course they'll be a little sweeter. This works with any fruit. Some work better than others, and you can do this with different alcohols, honey, maple syrup, basically anything with sugar, and it will soften and enhance the flavour of your fruit. I'm just going to leave these to sit for a few minutes and let the sugar do its work. Next, I'll take a couple of the ripe, good-looking strawberries, slice the tops off again, and I'm just going to quarter one and cut the other in half like this. And I'll do the same thing with the tops as I did a minute ago. Slice around the stem, dice them, and add them to the bowl with the other berries. Now I have a bowl of macerating strawberries, with some that were bruised and damaged, and all of the tops finely diced. A few of my perfectly ripe strawberries just cut into halves and quarters, ready to go. And this is all the waste that I have. A few stalks and a couple of rotten pieces that I had to cut out. Let's plate this dessert. I'm going to use one of the simplest plating techniques using a regular flat white plate. So first I'll grab the strawberries that have been in the sugar for around 5 minutes. They've completely changed. They look softer and the sugar has created a light, sweet smelling strawberry syrup. I'm going to make a line down the plate but just off center. Keep it as clean as possible, but don't worry if you make a bit of a mess, we can hide that with other things in a minute. Next I'll get the chocolate mixture from the fridge and a dessert spoon in a little hot water. I'm going to make something called a rocher. It's pretty simple. Grab the spoon, shake off most of the water and just scoop into the chocolate like you're scooping a ball of ice cream. Then using the rim of the bowl, take off any bits that are falling off the edge of the spoon. It takes a little practice, but you'll get the hang of it after a few tries. I'm going to put 2 of them just touching the line of the strawberries. Using a hot spoon is what gives this sheen to the surface of the chocolate. Then follow that with the fresh strawberries wherever looks good, and for a final touch, this plate needs a crunchy texture. This could come from so many things. You could make a crumble or something else crunchy and sweet, but I'm going to take the easy road and use some chocolate granola. You have so many options here. Slightly crushed cereals, biscuits and cookies will be your best options for a quick and easy final touch. We have soft, sweet and slightly jammy, fresh and crisp, and melt in your mouth pure chocolate flavour complemented by the crunch of the granola. That's a rich, tasty, simple dessert using only 5 ingredients: chocolate, water, strawberries, a teaspoon of sugar and a pinch of granola. If you want to know another way that restaurants amplify the flavour in their food, then go check this video out next.